YouTube family, what on? Maverick Day as a matter of urgency. Because we're in the middle of the streets and right in the aftermath of the judgment will come down from the UK Privy Council. Embattled entertainer Vybz Kartel. Yeah, you're supposed to hear by now. The conviction has been quashed. Yeah, the murder conviction for Vybz Kartel and his co-accused have been quashed by the UK Privy Council. This is on the basis, as a lot of us were speculating, on the basis of the jury that was tampered with. Remember, so one of the jury of them did collect a bribe and I try influence the other one them for Lego Vybz Kartel. Well, it is that, I don't want to call it technicality, but it is that discrepancy where the Privy Council pick up on and say, no, this eventually could have compromised the integrity of the trial. And because of that, when them call it, them squash the conviction. It don't mean say Vybz Kartel innocent, and it don't mean say Vybz Kartel are going to go free. In fact, it's not going free because they have referred the issue now back to the Jamaican Court of Appeal to determine if they are to order a retrial in the case. And that's the thing they basically. So what happened now? The Court of Appeal, not the court. So what happened now is that the Privy Council has picked up the discrepancy with the jury. And them said, no man, this look like it can compromise the process. But them also not ignoring, the overwhelming circumstantial evidence that caused the conviction in the first place, that led to the conviction in the first place. And being cognizant of that now, them decide say, no, we're not going to just let him free. We are sending it back to the Jamaica Appeals Court to decide if a retrial is to be had or them can make the decision from this. So it's a kind of technical thing. People kind of confused. Me, they were so confused still because it kind of straightforward. Yeah. First of all, a lot of us were looking at this thing when they met the appeal with the jury. And them said the judge should not have allowed, in an initial case, should not have allowed the contaminated juror to stay through the trial. And it understandable, because I said that to somebody from this morning, So look here, if you have a juror that collected money and try to bribe other people for Lego Vybz Kartel, the people, me understand, so the people who approach rejected the offer. So therefore, natural human reaction now, You come try bribe me to vote that way there. Me I go push back, and vote even more aggressively the other way to prove say you never influence me, And me actually hear one of the attorney them argue the same thing. That is exactly what I said in a discussion this morning. I try to explain to somebody why the tampered juror could have been a problem for the prosecution of this case. And so said, so done. So right now, me understand say the whole of Gaza did ready to celebrate. You see some things come up where the Gaza man shirt and him pants is ready for him come around. But no, not yet. Hold your card upon that. But it is a, what you call this now? It's a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Because the initial conviction has been quashed. But it's going to be an uphill task. Because the possibility of a retrial now. How practical is a retrial with something like this? Eh? How long ago that trial have gone? A decade? When the witness, them are going to go back for the witness when them having a witness protection somewhere in the world? And what about the exposure when this case did get? How y'all get a jury where I go, unconnected to all of the high profile coverage of this case initially? We don't know. We don't think it practical for a retrial. I really, unless they're gonna, I don't know what the terms of the retrial would be. I don't know if they're gonna just use the evidence from the old trial. But I assume a retrial is a completely new trial. So what happened at the previous trial would be totally irrelevant to what happened at the retrial. So I don't think the retrial is a practical thing. But they might go back. If you are that witness, you are come back out of witness protection to come back. Come testify against Adidja Palmer, aka Vibes Cartel, again? 2 times? No, sir. And them could not seek a conviction again without that witness. Because the crooks of that case did bill on that witness there. Turn me up, me I think about the practicality of the retrial. It on the top of my head, it don't look practical to me. But that are the options, and I was speaking to a lawyer not too long ago. And them say, other than the potential for the retrial, they would have to let him go scotch-free, you know. The appeals court would have to let him go scotch-free. I remember this is the same Jamaican appeals court, you know, that had rejected an appeal already, you know. But based on the evidence. But this appeal would be different now, because the conviction quashed. So it's not a convicted man that come to them now, you know. They must come back now, a convicted men, sorry. They must come back now to decide if based on where we are in the development of the case now, if it have to go back to a retrial. Or the next option, me understand that them can just say, Vibes Cartel and you co-accuse, God go with you know. You don't catch a break, take care of yourself. Eh? What a gripping saga though. And of course, they have make 2 little run on the street, you know, look like the news quite seep out to everybody yet, and everybody understand what is happening. Because it, as we say, it's right for technicality. Most people that think about it are either Gaza man get off and free, or the conviction obtained and him still convicted of murder. No. There are some little technicalities. And this away it stop right now. So as it is right now, you're heading back to the Jamaican Court of Appeal to decide whether or not them going to have a retrial. But me that listen to the attorney for Sean Storm on a program not too long ago, Bert Samuels. And him not sound like, well, obviously, he must say, we really are going to have a retrial? How can we have a retrial? But as you say, he's a defense attorney for one of the man, so probably you have to consider that when you listen to him. I say. See? And another thing too, we come up in a conversation with somebody me talk a while ago. If, and this is quite possible now, you know, if them decide, say, you know, them not about no retrial, and them are going to set aside, and let Cartel and him co-accuse free. What about the issue of what about the issue of compensation for the unlawful imprisonment and conviction when them have him in a prison bungalow for over a decade now? What about that? You think that all of them saga that we are watching now. Yeah, man, you know the Maverick there. The Maverick there are people over every single fence on my pass. Yeah, people. So Vibes Cartel not free. He's not free yet. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel.